honest opinion about the movie Citation, it was not worth the hype for me. Honestly, it was just overhyped, and I was like, now wow, is this what people have been making noise on Twitter and on Instagram? Like, I expected so much better. I didn't get what I was expecting and all of that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing absolutely amazing. If this is your first time here, you are so much welcome. If hair, beauty and lifestyle content is your kind of thing, then you should consider subscribing, and when you subscribe, tap the bell beside the subscribe button so you stay notified whenever I upload a new video. So in this video, I am going to be honestly criticizing the movie Citation. There has been a lot of rave about it on social media, and I know I came a little bit late to the party because the movie was released like 5 days ago or 6 days ago, and I'm coming to drop my own review now, so I'm sorry for that. But I have watched the movie and I have a whole lot of things to say, okay? So you better stick around and watch to the end, all right? So first of all, now to the good part of the movie. I love the fact that the message that the movie is passing will spur a lot of conversations that we've been trying to overlook for reasons whatsoever on social media. I love it so much because sex for grades is something that a lot of young female students go through in most Nigerian universities, but sometimes when these cases are taken up, in most cases, nothing is done about it. When Sex for Grade documentary by Kiki Modi for BBCI came out, I love the fact it spurred a lot of conversations, and I also love the fact that it's also going to do that. The movie Citation is also going to do that. Another good thing I loved about the movie was the location. The location was splendid. I loved how they captured everything in camera, like the university was portrayed beautifully. I love that, and the camera was also crisp and clear. I was super proud of the quality. There is no such thing like, you know, the way we used to see all this, they are fake effects. Old Nollywood movies, it was not there. So that one, I give it to them. But I also have a lot of things to say about this, and everything I'm about to say is my opinion, and honestly, I just need to talk about it. So let's go. First, the storyline had quite a lot of loopholes. Let us come down to the person that portrayed the main character. Moremi was quite stiff for that character, if you permit me to say. Like, it wasn't truly embodied the way, like, I couldn't feel the acting. If you're a type of person that when you're watching a movie, you see yourself in that movie, and you seeing yourself in that movie has a lot to do with the person or the character embodying the character. In my opinion, Moremi was a bit stiff. Like, she was like really stiff. And why I said the storyline has quite a lot of loopholes is when we talk about sexual molestation, right, by some lecturers in Nigerian universities, it doesn't always end well when it's taken to higher authorities for it to be judged and for the student to get justice. It doesn't always end the way the movie ended. And the part where she had to go to Senegal to get evidence to nail the Professor Ndiare, it was unnatural, and I couldn't relate to that as a Nigerian. At first I thought, oh, probably I was being too rigid, and I asked a couple of people that have watched the movie, and they were like, the parts where she had to go to Senegal to get evidence, the average Nigerian female that goes through that cannot afford to go to Senegal. Why I'm actually saying this is that movie has a very strong story attached to it, and I am a huge fan of when you want to portray the story that shows the reality of a particular set of people, which in this case are young female Nigerian students. When you want to portray that kind of story, portray the story the way it is. If in reality it doesn't always end well, portray it in the movie that it doesn't always end well. Not all movies must have a happy ending, honestly. In the end, when Professor Ndiare got, sent off from the school and relieved of everything, I was like, I couldn't relate to that, because you and I know that in most cases, it doesn't always happen like that. And the thing we don't understand with telling stories through movies is that the people that you're targeting, especially Nigerians, are not the only ones that are going to watch that story. Other people are going to watch that story. And it's powerful how our stories can kind of like create an image of what the reality of a particular set of people are in people's minds that can relate to it. So when it comes to the storyline being unnatural, it was so unnatural. It wasn't real. The main character was really stiff, like I couldn't feel her. You know, for this type of role that she played, you as a young female Nigerian, and you're a graduate, probably you've gone through similar thing in the university, or you've had a friend has gone through similar thing. There should be, naturally, because you're watching a movie that tells that story, you can relate to it. You could feel some sense of pity. You should feel some sense of pity for the main character, but I couldn't feel it because I couldn't go with her. I couldn't flow with her. So yeah, the embodiment was not it at all. The main character wasn't embodied. I was like, oh my god. So yeah. And again, another thing that I noticed about the movie was that it was just unnecessarily too long. Like 2 hours, I think 13 minutes, like it was too long, and I felt some scenes were so unnecessary. A lot of scenes were unnecessary. Just get straight to the point. And I just felt so angry that, especially the relationship between Moremi and her boyfriend, it was just off, you know. And the part again that was so unnatural and like acted very stiffly was the part in the beach where they went to Senegal and she broke up with the boyfriend. The way the breakup was like, it was just off. Like it was just off in terms of the acting. Do you understand? I don't know if you're a type of person that is an acting enthusiast. I hope that word is appropriate. You would, when you're watching a movie, you are immersing yourself in the movie. You want to feel your character. You want to feel the character that is being portrayed. So I didn't feel that with Moremi. Another thing that was off and totally like pissed me off so much was that boy Samba. God, I was like, hey God, that boy Samba, the one that came to tap Moremi when they went to Senegal for the lecture trip and all of that. That boy was so stiff. I know I'm not trying to, you know, cut him off for all of that, but that acting was just not there. The facial expressions, I was like, it's off. Another thing again that was so unnatural about the storyline was when they went to Senegal and, you know, she was, Moremi was with her classmates, and the Samba boy came and tapped Moremi and told her to follow her. Like a typical Nigerian, not even a typical Nigerian. Nobody would want to follow a strange boy that taps them and takes them to somewhere. Do you understand? Like the boy tapped Moremi and was like motioned to her to follow her, and Moremi started following her. She was even running happily. I was like, who does that? Like, I can't relate to this. This is so unnatural. Now, another part that also pissed me off was when she now got to the water side that Samba of a boy was trying to show her. The professor now comes in, and she is just so free with the professor, to the point that when her and the professor were still conversing and the professor turned to leave, she told the professor to stay back with her. I mean, I was like, are you serious? This is the same professor that Moremi went to the office to, you know how far with her chapters in her dissertation work. And this is the same professor that flirted with her indiscriminately and told her the color of her pants. And 1 month later, it's as if Moremi has moved on. Like, see, that level of naivety, if that's how that word is pronounced, exhibited in that particular scene was just so unnatural. I was like, even my 16-year-old sister wouldn't even do that. I mean, a guy that flirted with you, that you know that this guy wants something from you and you're just so free around her. Another part that was so unnatural in that movie was when they went, the professor invited them for a party in his house, you know, kind of like, I think a get-together party, I've forgotten, but they went for a party in the professor's house, all the students that were under his course. And Moremi ate something, right, and it didn't sit well with her stomach, and she had to use the toilet. The first thing I was like, what the hell, was when the whole party ended and everybody was leaving. Now, Moremi's friend, right, the male friend that we've always been seeing from the beginning of the movie that she walks around with often, like, when you were leaving the party, you didn't see your friend Moremi. At least it would have been shown to us that are watching that, okay, he tried to look for Moremi. But at first I was like, okay, let's excuse that. Probably the guy thought that Moremi had already gone home. Then Moremi now comes out from the bathroom and notices that everybody has gone home. There is nobody there. And she is not uncomfortable with the same professor that tried to kiss her at the beach and she refused. The same professor that tried to that told her the color of her pants is in his office. Like, that was so unnatural. And then the professor now goes on to tell her about her dissertation work, that she did absolutely amazing and her work was beautiful, and she goes ahead to hug him. For real. Like, it's not realistic. Like, it's not realistic. I was like, what is this? Like, it's not realistic at all. So okay, at first I was like, okay, let me excuse them. Probably she did that out of excitement. Okay, you hug him. Before we even get to the part that she hugged him, you came out, you saw that everybody had left. You couldn't even, like, there was no haste in you to leave. And then he offers you to stay back and help clear up the dishes, and you accept. Like, that was so unnatural, that was unrealistic. I feel like nobody would do that, considering how the man had been up on her case. Nobody would do that. And I was like, this storyline would have been perfect if not for a lot of this stuffs there, you get. Another part of this movie I really want to talk about is the ending. The ending, it's not relatable. I know that probably the person that wrote the script was trying to pass the message of at least we get hope. Maybe when most Nigerian universities watch that movie, they're going to try to take matters like this when students report seriously, right? And you know, in the beginning of the movie, they made reference to a particular girl that took law into her own hands and invited the boyfriend to deal with the lecturer that was asking her to sleep with him. I understand all of that, but the ending was just so, especially the part where she went to Senegal, which I've mentioned before. If you want to tell the story of reality of a lot of people, tell it the way it normally ends. It is passing a stronger message. It is more realistic. A lot of people can relate more. This is my own opinion, okay? This is honestly my own opinion. And that ending, I was like, no. And then that was why I said earlier that Moremi, which was the main character, I expected a lot better. Towards the ending, when she won the case and she came out to the press and they were asking her questions, she was still stiff, you know. I just couldn't. I was like, no. And yeah, I almost forgot that guy from Cape Verde that later helped her when she went back to Senegal to get evidence, that told her the story of how his family relation, or his daughter, presumably, I've forgotten whether it's his daughter or family relation, how Professor Ndiari used the daughter. Now, I understand that in the movie they were trying to portray him as an old man, but they did a very terrible job at that. It was like very terrible. Yeah, the beards were white, a little bit of grey and black, but if you look at the man, you know this guy is young. He's not as old as he is being portrayed in the movie. You know, I feel like better makeup would have been done, or probably the acting, but there was just something off about the man struggling to fit into the character and being himself outside of the acting. Do you understand? So that he was old, he wasn't portrayed well. Like, I was like, this man is not old now. Why are they trying to paint him old, or that he's suffering? Like, so yeah, that's that part. I was like, no, we can do better. You see, personally for me, whenever I hear a fuss about a particular movie on social media, maybe everybody's hyping it, oh, this movie is gonna be this, and it's a Nigerian movie, this is me, honestly. First of all, I lower my expectations, because the thing, if we're going to be very honest with ourselves, most of the movies that we are seeing these days in Nollywood, first of all, I really appreciate the quality of, like, the cinematography is getting so much better, the camera quality is beautiful, but the storyline, there is always no storyline. And I feel like they just pack a lot of celebrities into one movie, make a lot of fuss about it, but then when you go to the cinema to watch it, you notice that for people like me that are suckers for good storylines, movies that would make you think, not like even make you start thinking and thinking, but movies that would leave you, you know that you watched something, you imbibe, like you looked at something, right? I always get disappointed at the storyline. I know a lot of movies that have been hyped so many times on social media. I was so excited, I get to the cinema and I'm like, oh my god, like, we can do better, okay? I love how far Nollywood has grown and is growing in terms of our cinematography and our camera, but you see the storyline, we are still missing it. The storylines are still so predictable, most of us, and do you know what pains me the most is that sometimes the main characters that are given to people, they don't really embody it well, if we're going to be very honest with ourselves. Remove the hype, remove whoever the person that was given the main character is. I know that there are a lot of people that come to audition for movie roles and they are very good. If we can give these people opportunities, we have a lot of talents in Nigeria. We have a lot of talents that come every day for audition. Let's give some of these people chances. I know a lot of them can act, and I don't even know, but there are some movies I'll watch and I watch some of the actors and I'm like, do these people go to acting school? Because I feel like there are some characters you would watch, you don't feel it, you know, there is something missing. Like when you watch some other movies, right? Some other movies, like foreign movies, permit me to say that, you know, I'm not saying that there are no good actors in Nollywood, but I feel like there's a lot more that needs to be done. Give roles to people that can actually act. That's the main point of this. And as we start to do this, we can grow. Our storylines too are too predictable. Let us work on this. We have a lot of talents in Nigeria. And I don't know, sometimes there are some movies I'll watch, I'll be like, the person that wrote this script, that wrote this, did they give it to somebody to review? Like, even if you gave it to somebody to review, what did you guys review? I mean, we can do so much, so better, okay? And I know that there was a lot of hype about the movie in terms of the French that was spoken. I was indifferent about the French. That was me. A lot of people found it. Some people find French sexy, you know, so it's totally okay, but I was indifferent about it. And I almost even forgot to add the part where those twins in the movie, they were always talking together and chattering together and trying to do everything together. I was like, this is not relatable. Hardly will you see twins in Nigeria doing like this. It was so unnecessary. Those kind of twin, kind of doing everything kind of together, we mostly see it like in Hollywood movies, you know, abroad and all of that, but you hardly see twins doing like that in Nigeria. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt that scene was unnecessary, and the twins did a very good job. I was like, wow, and that's so pretty. They did a good job of like doing the talking together, but I was like, another unnecessary scene that made this movie unnecessarily long, that would have gotten straight to the point, you get. So that's it, that's what I felt. So yeah, like I said earlier, the message the movie was trying to portray is very good. It's a very relevant conversation that we need to start. But I also, like I said earlier, Nollywood needs to do more. Like, we need to step up. We need to, our content game in terms of like the stories that we share in movies. I mean, there are a lot of people that are also doing amazing, like Skinny Girl in Transit. There are a lot of series that I've watched. I'm like, this is good. The actors, they did well, you know, they did well. And the stories were also good. The storyline, it was not unnatural and all of that. But still, for the hype that a movie got, please, let's just do better. Nollywood, we still need to do better. Sometimes when some Nigerians are complaining that, oh, Nollywood movies, the storyline is always predictable. It's not like we're trying to, I know some people try to do it to just like end Nollywood, all of that. But me, I see it as a criticism that we should really work on. So yeah, this is my honest opinion about the movie Citation. It was not worth the hype for me. Honestly, it was just overhyped. And I was like, now wow, is this what people have been making noise on Twitter and on Instagram? Like, I expected so much better. I didn't get what I was expecting and all of that. So I'd love to know your thoughts on this. What did you think about the movie Citation? Did it reach your expectations the way it was hyped? Were there some things you noticed? Were there some things you felt should have been better? Please let me know in the comments. Let's continue this conversation in the comments. And also note that this criticism is from utmost love in my heart and concern for the Nollywood industry to grow. Okay, so it's not about trying to come at anyone, not at all. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, tweet about it, just share, and also subscribe. Okay, I share natural hair videos, lifestyle, and everything in between. So please subscribe, tap the bell beside the subscribe button so that you stay notified whenever I post new videos. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Bye. Mwah.